or someone would ask me the other day, she's like, what are you going to do when you actually find someone really similar to you? Would you get along? I was like, gosh, no way. Welcome back, everybody. So we've got some pretty special guests on the show today. They're a group that's come together to help support men's mental health, and I think that's a very close thing to. Well, it lines up really well with what we've been trying to, empower and push through. So, Move for Men. We've got Kurt, Will, and Tom. Where did the Move for Men cause come from? We'd love to know.
So essentially, we had the very unfortunate passing of one of our closest friends in November last year from suicide. And that got everyone really thinking about the topic of men's mental health. And I think it was about maybe a month or two later, we were at the pub watching the UFC, and Tom came in and literally just said, I want to start a non-for-profit organization for men's mental health, and who wants to go with me? And myself and Kurt were there, and John Luke, and Sky wasn't there at the time, but all five of us were very keen to jump on that. And yeah, that's kind of the backstory from where it came. Do you have anything to add to that, Tommy?
No, yeah, pretty much that was it. And thought that we should do it, obviously following the pretty devastating passing of our really good mate. And just thought that it was really helping us to get together and talk about how we're feeling and trying to get over the whole situation. And I thought, well, why not extend it to all of our family and friends, and then just get everyone on board that we can and start opening up that conversation about men's mental health. So, yeah, that was pretty much it. Secondly, thank you for having us on your podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. Thanks so much for coming on. We've been following what Move for Men have been doing for a little bit, because it's inspiring stuff. It's really hard to get guys to talk about this stuff. And well, number one, you're getting them to talk about it. Number two, you're getting them to come together and talk about it. Like it's not an easy thing to do that you're managing to make look so seamless and easy.
It's a butterfly effect. Like one person comes, and then like that person also reaches out to their network, and it just keeps on going. So props to you boys.
Absolutely. It's been great. Like we're going down, we do so Wednesday dad walks, and the whole intention is to get down there, come down, we come together, we just go for a casual walk. It's about half an hour. We're not walking 100 kilometers every day and really pushing ourselves to the limits. We're walking a nice leisurely stroll so we can just have a chat. And, my dad comes down, Will's dad's going to be coming down soon. He's just getting over a knee reconstruction. And then, hopefully we can get everyone down together and, yeah, we just have a chat.
Yeah, it's informal. So there's no pressure on anyone to say anything they don't want to. You don't even have to bring it up. You can just talk about how you're going or whatever's going in the week. It's really informal, but it's definitely a safe space for if anyone was going through anything and they wanted to bring it up at the time. So, and it's really successful from everyone who's come down. We haven't had no negative feedback on it. It's pretty rare to get negative feedback on something we're pushing, but everyone who's been involved really enjoyed it, and we're starting to get some regulars. We're hoping to extend that out as the COVID restrictions lessen and more people feel safer to go outside and be in larger groups. We're hoping to push that through as that happens. But,
I think too with the walk, like you have the walking groups too, but it's sort of created a little bit of a community sort of flow on effect. It's like with our Instagram page, there's lots of people that are constantly tagging Move for Men, not necessarily going on the walks, but they're doing their own thing, and it's creating a sort of environment that's making people active, and people are sort of proactive in reaching out to me personally and saying how much they enjoy just the little community like that we've sort of created, that people can just tag and then we repost it, and it just sort of has that nice flow on effect that makes that sort of inclusive sort of feel that I think everyone sort of wants, and everyone sort of needs that too. So I think that's, other than the walks, that's sort of been the massive one for us as well, I think.
Like, and then sorry, you go.
Yeah, like I that's what I think the awesome part is. People, it can be really hard coming to these things for people for the first time, and getting to see people kind of play around with the idea and slowly build themselves up through a good community, a virtual community first, helps them kind of ease into being able to actually make a physical connection with other people, which is a scary thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I mean, Sam, you're in lockdown in Victoria at the moment. Kurt, he's in lockdown because he's in the NRL. So to be able to have that opportunity to be a part of the community just on your phone has been great for us. And that's one thing that we are really trying to push, is just to create a really nice open community that people can belong to and be a part of, because that's really important. I think if you've got mental health issues, you kind of sit there by yourself and you don't really feel you belong to anything in some instances, and that's just, heartbreaking to see someone go through that. So that's really, really what we want. And we're so lucky that we have social media. Like, that's how you guys found us. That's how we found you, So it's been awesome.
I think that's been that big thing that Tom touched on there, the inclusiveness side of things, because as you said, I've sort of been in lockdown. And it's a good way for me to keep in contact and interact with everyone with Move for Men. So yeah, that whole inclusiveness and with social media has been huge for us. Look, it's been a little bit hard for me to be constantly keeping up with Move for Men, obviously, because I can't be with the boys. But with that community that we've created online, it's been massive for me, even for me personally. So seeing other people get online and do that and be part of the community has been huge.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's like,
there's 5 of you, isn't there?
Yeah,
we're missing 2.
missing
yeah,
two.
yeah.
That what you boys are all saying is so good, because I think it's so timely right now, because I know many people are really struggling, and to see, I feel like you guys are pretty well known within your community, and just to see you guys sort of leading the charge, the younger kids, the younger boys will see that, and they'll join you, and I think it's really powerful what you're doing.
Yeah, it's awesome. Sorry, go.
So how'd you boys all come to, at some point there was obviously an idea that was like, hey, let's just do this. Where did that idea come from?
Yeah, well, like Willie said at the start, I think we all caught up at the pub, and I just got a bit excited and thought, well, why not? Let's get together. Well, we didn't know what we were going to call it, but I said, well, let's just start a walking group, because Willie and I started walking on Wednesday mornings, like with my dad, and we were just having a good laugh every morning, and that we'd do it. And then I just sat down and I said, fuck, this is great. We should extend the invite to everyone, because it's helping us so much. So yeah, and then it kind of just built from there. We're all about just grassroots. So started the Instagram page, just all our friends, family. We just got shirts. I, got all my family to wear them everywhere they go. And then it kind of is just built from there.
I think it was March. So it was in January that Tom came with the idea, and we were doing the walks. Yeah. And then March 1st, the 5 of us got together at in Coogee at the pavilion down there. So it's a little social venue, but this was just pre the restrictions getting put in as Corona was about to take off, and we all just sat down and said, what do we want to achieve this year? Obviously, the ideas had to be adaptable after all the restrictions hit in terms of so like fundraising events. But we laid out some ideas. We all kind of gave ourselves some roles on how we could help get it off the floor. And besides the fundraising events that we had planned having to be postponed because there was obviously going to be more than 10 people involved in them, getting the website up is going to be our next priority. The Instagram was our big push. We wanted to get on the social media. Getting the clothing lines up. We're going to extend our clothing line as well going into summer. It was just all these little ideas on how we could get started, because like you said, it's kind of like writing an essay when you're in high school or in uni. Once you actually get the pen on paper and start writing, it all starts going easier, but actually getting the pen on paper is the difficult part. So since we started, it hasn't been too difficult, really. A lot of people have been supportive. There's been no pushback. We've had no dramas so far, except for obviously the coronavirus kind of causing the fundraising events to be postponed until next year. That's when we're going to start implementing those, it looks like.
So in the future, what are some potential events, or, you mentioned you've got some cool new clothing, items coming out. anything set in stone that you're like, this is going to happen?
Well,
Yeah.
it's pretty. We've got a few things, but it's pretty tough. Like for instance, for our social events, we really want to have our foundation lunch. We were going to have it in about February next year.
Requires a lot of planning though, and you can't plan with this environment at the moment. Like
Yeah.
Melbourne is a prime example of when you think it's all going well, and one or 2 weeks it can all change again. So
Yeah.
it's we have the plans that are set in stone, but the time that we do them when it is up in the air still, just whenever it's possible, I guess. Like we had a lawn, like Sydney was looking pretty good at one stage, and we had a lawn bowls day that we had planned. It was going to be about 50 people. We're going to play some lawn bowls, get some food, and get some beers, and like it wasn't going to be competitive or anything, but we were going to use that as to try to raise like a certain amount of money. And about 3 weeks out from it, we got tighter restrictions hitting 10 people only at a time. So it's just been things like that which have pushed back our ability to do fundraising events, but we're still looking at other ways to raise the funds, like through the clothing line. So we've extended out. We're going to get some swimmers, some budgies coming in.
Some budgies.
So, budgies. And we're going to have like an online poll to try to raise awareness for that. It's going to be 2 different designs at the moment. One's going to be more of a tamer design, like more simple, and then we're going to have a wild design, and we're going to do a poll and see which one like gets the most traction, and then we'll roll with that one. But we've got our singlets, which we're going to push for a little bit more. The shirts were the big one that we pushed at the beginning, and we're just doing kind of some sample testing, like Tom's hat and the singlets, for example, sample test. We've got some stubby holders as well.
Too.
We've got some stubby holders which are available at the moment. There's a whole bunch of different things we're doing, but we're trying to figure out what's sticking and what's not at the moment. We're still in that phase.
It's sort of, we have to be pretty fluid in this environment and be pretty adaptable. I think it's pretty, as you said, we had all these things not setting stone, but had all these ideas and plans, and we thought that this is going to be amazing. And then obviously Corona hit. So it's all about being adaptable at the moment, I think. And I think we're doing a fairly good job at sort of changing the post on ourselves with what we can and what we can't do. So it's just all about, as I said, being adaptable and changing as the times change, I suppose.
Yeah, COVID has made things particularly hard, but it's also given a lot of opportunity too.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, number one, people have been working from home a lot more, so I guess we've been able to do a few more things that we might like to do around the home at the same time. Has there been any, positives for you in terms of the restrictions actually still being in place for creating and growing Move for Men?
Maybe social, like in terms of social media, like having that online presence, because everyone's, like you said, working from home has caused more people to have more time. You lose the commute and people have more time to do what they want. And a lot of people like going on their phone and looking what's going on Instagram. So I feel like we've been able to push up our follower list a little bit quicker than we were expecting, which has been good. We've been really pushing that. If you get stuck in a routine of working from home, you can kind of get stuck on the computer all day, and all you do is wake up, work, eat, sleep, repeat. We're trying to push for people to do at least one thing that they want to do for themselves per day, whether that be go to the pub with their mates, exercise, and that's where the dad walk's been really important for a lot of people. Getting up before work, doing something different, being active. That's been really helpful with the Corona environment, I suppose, because a lot of people wouldn't be able to have that flexibility to get up early or walk straight after work as they do now.
I think the whole Corona thing has made everyone a bit more active, and everyone's sort of getting a bit more into fitness, because obviously people can't go to the pub or go to restaurants or do that. They can't really do as many social things. So I think fitness has become, or like exercising, become people's vices a little bit more. I think that's probably helped us to the extent of them posting Move for Men and like on their Instagram, which has probably benefited us a lot, to be honest, because as I said, they can't go out and do social things. So their other vice is exercising and fitness and all that sort of stuff. So I think that's actually benefited us a little bit.
Yeah, I know, like,
and everyone else actually.
For Sam and I, so coronavirus has been a big thing for us. It's really, I don't know if it's the same for you boys, it's really made us sort of step back and have a look within ourselves, just because you're not so distracted with what's happening this weekend, blah, blah, blah. And we've really looked into self-development, and I think that's essentially why we've made the 4am Club, just to push that self-development and the power it can have on impacting one's life. So just in terms of that, do you guys have any tips or any tricks or any things that you've used for your own self-development?
Yeah, well, I mean, like you said, I agree 100% with that. Having, being in isolation or in lockdown, you've got a lot of time to yourself to self-reflect and become a bit more self-aware. So that's been pretty big for me anyway, like trying to understand what makes me feel good today and what I've done that makes me feel bad, and well, then I'm not going to do that again, or I can work on becoming more productive. I've found being productive in my work life especially really helps me in my personal life and how I'm feeling, and then I can bounce out of bed, or instead of rolling out and then jumping on the computer and thinking, oh, this sucks, I don't want to be sending all these emails or whatever today. So productivity in my work life has really helped, and I've just realized this over the past couple months really. So that's kind of my angle that I'm pushing on myself, and it's really helped for me. So I would like to think that helps for most people, but everyone's different.
Yeah, for me it's been oh, go ahead, Curdy.
Oh, I was going to say on the flip side of what Tommy said, because he's got a lot of time to self-reflect and he's using it as a positive thing. I think some people, because they have a lot of time to self-reflect at the moment, can use it as the negative, and they sort of sometimes can victimize themselves, and in this current environment going, this sucks and it's all doom and gloom, which I think something for me personally is having new challenges and new goals to achieve, whether they're little. Like for me personally, I'm, at the moment, since this whole coronavirus has hit, before the restrictions got really tight, we were playing golf every day, and my goal was not to be good at it, but just be less crap at it, and just like just little stuff like that, and just setting little goals for yourself that you try to achieve. Because I think without setting those sort of goals, and you don't have anything to look forward to, or try to wake up and have go into that grind of trying to get better at something every day. So I think that's a big thing, rather than trying to sit around and sort of victimize yourself or feel sorry for yourself, is to actually set some goals and set some little things that you want to achieve and strive to sort of achieve it. That way you have something tangible in place that you get, when you tick it off, you feel good about yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely.
I really like that, because I find if you can take these small little wins, it has a flow-on effect for the rest of your day too.
100%.
If you can grab a few of these little things, you can't all of a sudden these other things that look pretty hard, I'm feeling pretty good. It's just
Our slogan, one of our slogans is "Win the morning, win the day."
Yeah.
So that's why we push. So it's something. It's kind of a cliche and it's a bit cheesy, but it's so true. Like every time we go down, I look forward to the Wednesday morning more than anything. You get down there, and after you finish it, you go, you know what? I reckon the weekend's pretty close now.
Yeah.
After that, even though it's only Wednesday morning, you start getting into just a positive mindset for the day, and everything starts falling into place, definitely. Because I know I personally work at the moment, at least for the last month, and I will be for the indefinite future.
30 years, mate.
Yeah, working pretty decent hours, especially working from home. There's a big expectation that you're always available. Maybe 7:30 start, maybe 7 o'clock finish. Nothing unreasonable, but definitely having to get up and do something before you start that gets you in a positive mindset and makes you more productive, to Tom's point, and just puts everything into perspective a little bit more, that you can actually achieve whatever you need to for the day. Definitely it's cheesy, but win the morning, win the day. It's something that I've found to be just so true.
Yeah. Kurt, you mentioned goal setting before. I'm understanding you're a footy player. I'm not too great with sports, but I'm presuming you would have footy goals, and then you probably also have your own set of goals too, and they'd probably be quite separate.
Yeah, well, that you spot on there. I do have goals for footy, and they're them. But as you said, I do have other goals outside that. For example, I'm at uni. I go to work. And there's just little goals in different aspects of my life that I like to. Maybe I don't vocalize them as much, but just mentally, I just have them in the back of my head. I'm a bit of a dreamer sometimes which is probably a good thing in my state of mind, because if things don't go my way, I tend to just shift my mindset to something else. But yeah, like I have goals, like with uni, I want to finish uni in a certain amount of time, or like with work, I want to get, if another contract doesn't come up, well, then I want to be working in a certain sort of field, like it, I change the goals on myself all the time depending on the situation. But yeah, as you said, I don't just have one set of goals and put all my eggs in one basket, which I think is pretty important, not with just myself, but with everybody. If sort of, like for example, Will works in a very highly stressful job in finance. If he puts all his goals in his job, well then, in my opinion, I think it's a bit of a recipe for disaster. If you have lots of goals in different aspects of your life, if one of them goes to crap, well then the other ones can still go good. But if you just put all your eggs in one basket, one thing goes to crap, well then your whole life's going down the drain, theoretically. Like people think like that. So I think having lots of different aspects and goals in your life is huge.
I think as well, just adding to that too, in terms of having goals where you have, quite a bit of control over, but especially with work, there's always factors you can't really control.
Yeah.
So then I guess, if you did have those kind of set goals and it's just work, that's all you got. All of a sudden, the clients start changing their mind that, sometimes you can change it. Sometimes you can't. There's nothing you can do about it. It's too like externally dynamic of an environment to kind of have all your goals lined up to, I reckon.
Yeah.
I reckon you're spot on.
I think you just got to majority of your goals, I think, should be things that you can control and things that you have control over. I don't think you should set any sort of goals or achievements based on outcomes that can be based on other people or other people's decisions on what they are doing. I think it should just be solely based on what you can control.
Yeah. So going on from that, what do you guys do when you say you fail your goal or you have a bad day? How do you get out of that? Because Sam and I were talking about this and we came to the conclusion that there's a few things that we'd like to do to get out of that rut. Exercise, reflecting, and sort of just talking with your mates. Is there any other things that you guys do?
Good question. To Kurt's point, I know that we all do different things and we all work in different fields. So there's always going to be up and down days for everyone. They're all going to be a different time. Definitely, like, even if you're not talking about what happened in the day with your mates, or like if you're just around your friends and you can get into a positive mindset again, talking about other things. I know at least once a week, myself, John Luke, who's one of the other people in Move for Men, and two of my other mates, we all go play tennis. We're very average. We just do it for fun. And then we go to the pub and have a beer, and it just helps like kind of decompress after the day. And I don't know if it's just timing or what, but it always lines up when I have a crap day. And it's just, it really, you get there, you completely forget about it. And then before you know it, the next morning comes and it's over. Like it's nothing. I don't have one problem now that I've had for like an extended period of time. It just helps put things into perspective, that one bad thing happening in the day or having a bad week or even a bad month, whatever's happening, it's not going to always be like that. You're always going to have ups and downs, and putting, like Kurt said, having other goals and try to achieve other successes when this is happening is essential. Exercise is obviously a big one. I had a pretty strong exercise my whole life, and now I've had a bit of a break from it, and it is tough to get back into it. So that's my next goal at the moment, which I'm trying to get back into. But yeah, the exercise is definitely something that I found when I was doing it was so important, and now that I've kind of stopped and I'm trying to get back into it, I can appreciate that. So yeah, definitely small goals in other areas is so essential when you have a bad day.
I also think that if you fall short or you have a bad day or something doesn't go your way, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I think it's actually quite a good thing having failures. It makes you more resilient. It's just part of life, and vocalizing your failures and speaking to somebody and saying, "Oh, look, I've failed here, or this has gone to crap." Well, it definitely helps. But I think if you're failing and you're putting yourself out there, and it's a learning experience. It's a good thing for you, really. But it's just a matter of you've got to have a coping mechanism to deal with it. And everyone else's is different, but it's definitely, like, at the end of the day, nothing. You're not just going to keep ticking boxes every day and have no,
Win and win.
no downside.
There's going to be losses.
Yeah, you're not just
Yeah.
going to be a winner all the time. So I think it's actually quite a good thing. It builds resilience. But it's just a matter of having the coping mechanism, as you boys said, like exercising or whatever it may be. But yeah,
And just, I guess, just a little bit further on that too. I think that's so spot on. Like, you need to actually practice using your coping mechanisms. You know, it's all good and well having these things lined up, but if you don't do them when you're having a shit day, like, ooh, what's the point? So I reckon, you're spot on there. It's good to practice actually using what you plan to use and seeing how effective it is. You know, it's challenging and pushing yourself in a whole new different way.
and some people have the natural coping mechanism that just some people like things happen to them. It's like
Orthodox back.
yeah. Oh.
Hey.
Words out of my mouth. But then other people really dwell on it. So I think if you're one of these people that do dwell on things or things do get to you, then you definitely have to practice that coping mechanism. It's like anything. It's like training your muscles or training anything. The more you practice it, the better you're going to get at it.
Spot on.
Where can everyone find you boys?
Well, we've obviously got our Move for Men Instagram page.
I'm Will at the pub.
And lady. and there's a lady too. Sorry, I missed that. Boys and lady.
And lady,
Yeah,
my beautiful partner. That's she's one of my biggest coping mechanisms, to be honest.
He's getting brownie points.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky there, to be honest. But, yeah, you can find us on our Instagram page. We're about to get our website up and running.
Yeah.
We're just trying to figure out the best way to do that. You can find us down at Clovelly every Wednesday morning at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
We use
come for
blokes
a
with
walk.
speedos and average rigs.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
There's
just
nothing
come
wrong
down
with a
for a
cute
walk.
dad bod. Nothing.
That's
at all.
it. Yeah.
I love
Not
seeing a
even-
little bit of jiggle in the tummy.
I would definitely
Nothing
say
wrong
the
with that.
the best way to contact us though at the moment is through social media.
Yeah.
And you can literally DM the Instagram page, or you just give us a follow, and whatever you need. Like that's the way that at the moment we're promoting our clothing line as well. So people simply, it's a simple enough process. You send us a message of what you need and what you're after, and then we'll get it to you. It's easy as that at the moment. So whatever you need, probably Instagram DMing us. There's going to be someone there that's always going to respond quickly.
So what's your handle exactly?
At move_4_men.
Hold on, you
Yeah,
gotta say
so
that a bit louder.
Yeah, at move_4_men.
Yeah, that's it.
FOR, not the number
No.
4.
Yep.
Well, boys, we're really looking forward to catching up with you in the future, seeing how this Move for Men progresses, because I'm seeing big things here. I'm seeing
We've
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
incidentally, me and Leroy started up a similar thing. Well, just for us too, because we just want a bit of a challenge. We're doing a little fundraiser thing called Move for Sight. So I guess the names kind of line up pretty closely.
Yeah. Natural alignment there. Look at that.
I saw that though. You need to run like 52 Ks by the end of the year or something.
Yeah. We're going for the big one.
Yeah, so
Wow.
essentially we're adding 1K distance every week. So today we did
Yeah.
5K. So next week we
Yeah.
did 6K, and we're going to try go all the way up to 52. And it's really just
One go.
pardon? Yeah, in one go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's all to support this charity called Sight for All, which is just doing wonderful things, curing blindness all across the world and in the heart of Australian Aboriginal community. So
Oh, that's
We'll have to give them a
awesome.
follow.
Yeah.
Oh, we have. Don't
Oh, we
worry.
followed him?
Yeah.
Bit of contact.
And so essentially anyone can kind of do their own thing too. You know, walking. You know, do
Yeah.
whatever distance you want. Like obviously, 52 kilometers is it's quite a bit, especially if you're not much of a runner. So something like 500 meters. Done over a long period of time. Like someone will tick off their first half marathon. Like, we essentially just trying to show people what they can do by using continuous small improvements over a period of time.
I might just add quickly as well, while we still have the platform, our next big event of kinds is Movember. So if anyone's
Movember.
listening and interested in watching some hilarious moustaches, we don't stick it to moustaches. There's hair dyeing, there's spray tanning, there's going to be all different elements of the Movember, and they'll all be available on our Instagram page.
And you can join the team as
You
well.
can join the team and raise funds for under the Move for Men banner, that'd be really good as well. We're trying
Yeah.
to promote this and raise as much funds as we can for that cause.
Yeah.
So give us
We
a
all
follow.
can't grow mustaches like Tommy, so we have to.
I was going to say that's
party
some...
with something else. His hair dyeing, bad haircuts,
Yeah.
because he just alphas us in every aspect with that big mustache.
Yeah.
There's no competition.
Well, I agree.
Right.
That is some beautiful looking facial hair.
It's only been
And-
4
Yeah.
days.
Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure this morning. Can't wait to catch up with you again. And thanks so much for coming and sharing what Move for Men's about. I think it's an awesome thing that you're doing, and we will be sure to link up sometime in the future.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome.
Thank you so
Thank you very
much.
much for having us.
No
No
worries
worries.
at all.
Have
Thanks,
fun,
boys.
guys.
Good luck with the rest of the season.
Oh, thanks
Thank
very much.
you.
Thank you.